Yeah, now it's there. All right. So let's talk about A Thing of Beauty is a Joy Forever, written by John Keats. If you talk about title, in your title you have 4 words. A Thing of Beauty. A Thing of Beauty, written by John Keats. Now, if it's possible for any one of you to read this small paragraph which is given before the poem, if you have the book in front of you, is there anyone out of us who can read this small paragraph? Or you want me to do that? Or else what I'll do is I'll tell you in short. What actually is mentioned in your first paragraph instead of reading it. In your first initial opening paragraph, which is written about John Keats. He is known to be as a British romantic poet, and this is actually an excerpt which has been taken from his book named Endymion. And it has a beautiful Greek myth. I repeat again, it's a beautiful Greek myth that has been associated with this beautiful part of the poetry that he has mentioned about. And what is this Greek myth all about? It's about your Cynthia, it's about your goddess moon who descended from the heaven to meet Endymion. And who is Endymion here? Endymion here refers to a young shepherd who was sleeping on Mount Letmos. She comes and she kisses him on his forehead and she vanishes somewhere. When Endymion is seen, he is fine because he's seen once this beautiful goddess, and now he is in search. Where all is he searching? He is searching in woods, he's finding in forest, he's moving everywhere just to see that beautiful thing, a thing of beauty which is known to be a joy forever, as stated by John Keats. So let's start reading stanza 1, stanza 2, stanza 3, how this beautiful poem gets started. First line of stanza 1, what it reads? It reads, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever. Its loveliness increases. It will never pass into nothingness, but will keep a bower quiet for us and asleep, full of sweet dreams and health and quiet breathing." Now, what is mentioned in this beautiful stanza 1? Stanza 1 starts like, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever." A thing of beauty, just imagine for a minute, what can be a thing of beauty be for you or for me or for anyone? Probably for a mother, it can be the beautiful faces of her children. It can be for a child, it can be a toy, or for a daughter, it can be mother. For a son, it can be mother. What is actually, when we talk about by what intensity are these lines mentioned, this particular phrase, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever"? And we often quote this in various, whenever we have somewhere or the other, off and on we keep on quoting, "A thing of beauty is a joy forever." What actually is the joy is when we say that whenever probably we are in despair, we are gloomy, we are unhappy, but if we try to see the glimpse of it, even if we close our eyes for a second, even for a second, we identify that it gives us so much of joy that is unparalleled. And within few seconds, all our tensions, all our worries just go away, just fly somewhere in one corner, and once again we rejuvenate ourselves. So it is with this intensity, and you will identify more in these beautiful lines once when we'll keep on reading this poem. "A thing of beauty is a joy forever," is a joy forever. We cannot, as said by John Keats, its loveliness always increases. It always keeps on increasing, It will never pass into nothingness. Even if you have seen it for once, even if a thing of beauty which for you, the meaning, the term, a beauty can be anything. For someone who really loves nature, can be beautiful trees. For someone it can be maybe moon, anything. And do experience this once when you will sleep tonight. Before sleeping, just think about it, that what is for me a beautiful thing? A beautiful thing that is permanent. Permanently, it is going to be a beautiful thing in your mind. A thing of beauty. Something that passes into nothingness. It can never be a zero. It always has to give us happiness, but will keep a bower quiet for us and a sleep full of sweet dreams. What do we mean here by bower? What do we mean by bower here? Dear students, bower here refers to shade of trees, the place where you find right under the trees where you have shade. And you often you will find pedestrians, once when they are walking, they wish to take rest, they'll definitely try to find a place somewhere near the tree, or they would love to sit under the tree and to take rest for a while. And this is where we find out that a bower quiet for us. Bower refers to shade of trees and a sleep full of sweet dreams. This is again something that gives the happiness to someone, because it relaxes you, because it makes you feel comfortable. Therefore, on every morrow, are we writhing? Every morrow. What do we understand by word morrow? Morrow refers here that every new day. For example, tomorrow we are going to find that thing once again a beautiful way of living. Are we wreathing? Wreathing refers to flowers which are there in the garland. Flowers which are there in the garland are referred to wreathing. A flowery band to bind us to the earth. Something, when we talk about Mother Nature, when we talk about these beautiful flowers, when we talk about nature, when we talk about flora and fauna, specifically flora here, we identify that it is because of this that the earth has been bounded forever, because of these beautiful flowers that can be seen everywhere, which to John Keats is a beauty, is a symbol of beauty. And then when we talk about the line that's mentioned here, spite of despondence, of the inhuman dearth, of noble natures, of the gloomy days. What do we understand here by the word despondence? Despondence, what does it mean? It means here loss of hope. It refers to loss of hope. There are times when you feel that no one is there with you. You feel lonely. At that time also there is something. And what is that something? A thing of beauty which is a joy forever. Within seconds it will vanish your worry. This is what he's mentioned here. What is mentioned here? Of the inhuman dearth of noble nature. You are inhuman dearth. Dearth refers to scarcity. What is the meaning of dearth? DEARTH. Dearth refers here to scarcity. There is scarcity of noble deeds or of virtues when we look around. And at that time it is only one thing that can pull you out. And what is that one thing that can pull you out? Is your definitely a thing of beauty, a flowery band to bind us to earth. Flowers are binding us to earth. Flowers have binded the earth. Then we find a flowery band to bind us. Students, can you hear me? Students, am I audible to you?